Hello, legends and super legends. Welcome to Veloharmony. Today I'm heading out by myself. I explained in an earlier video that Paul Throughout is back, so he's not going to be riding today. He doesn't want to aggravate it, so I'll miss the company. But just looked at the weather. It's about probably 21 C there, about 72 Fahrenheit. And I just found out there's a chance of rain in about 3 hours or so is forecasted. So sometimes when they do that, the rain can come at any time because the chances are lower. So I'm going to go ahead and mount my mutt guards. Just wanted to show you real quickly how easy it is to do. Once you've already set it up, I have the protective film on the fork already that comes with it. I got some extra ones made, what I made by myself for my other bikes that I swap it on. Basically, you just put the foot on there and it has a strap. All I do is I line it up with the protective guard because that's already set up, and just grab the strap. And you try not to get it around your spokes. Shouldn't be a problem. But basically, I already know to leave one hole here. It just lines up with the end of that right there. You probably can't see that very well, but I'm doing this just to show how easy it is once you've set it up to get it on the bike. It does not take any major time to do. So now the front is on, and because it's set up, it's quiet, nothing rubs. That's really what you check for. The way I store it, I store them like this so they don't get any weight on them or anything that can throw it out of position. Same thing with the rear. Mount it where the protective film is, which kind of serves as a marker. Pull the strap, clip it in. I'll put a link here for the video that I made for those of you who haven't seen it, that shows you how to actually put this together. It's a little fiddly out of the box, but once it's done, you can swap it from bike to bike very easily. And you can see it's on there, and when I spin this, nothing rubs. I set it up to where it will take a 25 millimeter tire or a 28 millimeter tire. It could probably take a 32, but this bike wouldn't even fit a 32, but it's big enough and wide enough to where, depending on how you set it up, it will work. I think up to a 28 very comfortably. So I'm equipped so that if I get rained on, I'll be clean. I will take a shoe cover. Since there's a threat of rain, because I hate my feet getting wet. It may get a little damp with the cover, but at least it'll keep my shoes clean. So I hope you all get a chance to get some K's in. I saw a lot of comments from the last videos that I made. Depending on where you are in the world, some people are not allowed to ride or go out or whatever. We have a judge's order in Montgomery County, which is the area north where we ride a lot, that restricts gatherings. They probably won't bother us if we ride, as long as we're not drafting in a large group and we keep the 6 foot distance and so forth. So most people are riding solo for now in very small groups, like you saw in last week's group ride when I was filming. So I'm going to be taking some clips just to share my outing with those of you who are, it was a gentleman in South Africa that said they're not allowed to go out. So depending on where you are, the guys in the Netherlands, I'm sure they're allowed to go out because, you know, cycling is a big thing there. And Britain, somebody put a comment that they're encouraged to go out, which I think is a good thing for your mental health, for you to get out. I learned additionally that in France, the reason why they banned recreational cycling is because they don't want people getting hurt and then having to go to the hospitals, and the hospitals are already kind of overloaded. That was the logic behind that thinking. So hopefully that will be lifted soon so our brothers and sisters in France can get out. But regardless of how it is in your area, for your sanity, get on your trainer, get on your Stairmaster, whatever you have, just to give yourself that outlet, because exercise is good for alleviating stress as we go through these tough times. So make sure you get your K's in.
Headed up towards the woodlands. I took the most direct route out of town. I took Sterling Ridge to Branch Crossing, got out on Fishcreek, took Fishcreek, went into Ridgelake Shores, did a couple of loops in Ridgelake Shores, got back on 2854, which is also Fishcreek, went down Capitol into Keenan on Mill Route. Then I went to Lake Creek High School there and came back through Great Lake Estates to Honea Egypt Road, which brought me back into the Woodlands. It was over 4 hours in the saddle. It's kind of an overcast, rainy, breezy day. But overall, it was a good training ride. I hope you all will enjoy the clips that I got.
Hello, legends and super legends. I don't have my wingman today, but we're rolling out. I spent a little more time getting properly equipped. I decided to take my rain vest. It's one of the newer rain vests.
It's got a protected cover on the pocket back there.
Pocket protected, just in case I get rained on, so I wouldn't have to shorten my ride. You can see I'm covered. Hope you guys get a good shot of this. I moved away so you can kind of see. I've got my mud guards in place, my lights on. It's going to be an overcast day, so for the most part, I want to be able to ride regardless of what the weather does. I'll get some good clips for you all.
I took the rain vest. I took the rain vest to protect the gimbal more than anything. The camera's waterproof for the most part, up to 30 meters or something like that. But it's the gimbal that doesn't deal with a lot of water for too long.
It's a nice mild day. Overcast, but very nice. It's about 21 Celsius, thereabouts, but it feels a little cooler. So we've got a front in the area, that's why we're having all this rain. Nice breeze going down, so it'll be interesting. Good morning. So you guys can see people walking their dogs, and our fellow cyclists in South Africa, he said they're not allowed to even walk their dogs. They're not allowed to go out riding. So I'm riding for you all who can't get out. So you can watch this while you're on the trainer. But it's beautiful, and I'm glad that we can still get out, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think riding is a great thing to do because you can do it solo, no problem, and nobody's around you. You know, my focus.
Show you guys my covers here, just in case I didn't get a good shot earlier.
The ASO 7.
ASO 7.
I did a review of that
Very
a while
comfortable. They
ago.
don't get your feet hot even when it's warm. So even if you put that on a day like this where it's 21 Celsius to start, it does not heat up your feet. Something about the technical fabrics that he used. So that's very nice. There's another person walking their dog.
Yeah, my focus to protect myself against the coronavirus is sanitation. So when I go anywhere, I touch anything in public, I wash my hands immediately or I sanitize because the virus lives on surfaces. As long as somebody's not breathing or coughing on me, I don't worry too much about people. I worry about making sure I don't transmit from my hands.
I don't know if you guys can see the clouds really well, but we definitely have a system in the area because the temperatures have been 34, 35 Celsius yesterday, in the 90s Fahrenheit, and today it's going to drop by 20 degrees Fahrenheit, so we'll be in the 70s or in the 20s Celsius. So the weather's changing rapidly every day, but today is very nice. I really wish Paul could be out here, but you know, hopefully he will recover pretty soon.
Yeah, Paul got some treatment on his back. We're hoping he will feel better soon enough to be able to join us on the road. As for, I want to thank the patrons of the channel, and for those of you who are not patrons looking to supporting the channel, we appreciate all your support on patreon.com. Big difference this weekend. Not a whole lot of people out. Normally this road is crowded. A couple of riders up the road as I head out, but not the usual amount. Not even the walkers or runners. One big positive. The roads are clear. Y'all can see how sparse the roads are. Cars, there's only one car at that intersection. This is 9:36 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Normally we got more activity than this, so just like the guy in Canada on the channel who posted that the roads were clearer. You see there's one guy walking. Usually we got a slew of people on that trail. So it was clear that the virus and all the preventative measures keeping people at home are being adhered to. I'm glad that we're able to still get out on our bikes. I think it's good. I mean, you can see there's nobody for me to run into. Decided to do a loop in Ridgelake Shores. I'm on 2854 here, heading towards Ridgelake Shores. Just to keep it interesting. Even this highway, usually it's bustling with cars. You could tell the difference, and you will see that later in the clips. I filmed just the lack of activity. So I just turned on the Fishcreek Boulevard into Ridgelake Shores. Lots of good rollers in here. Paul and I have come here multiple times. I came in here to get a workout because there's some nice little rollers. I don't have to think about pushing. The terrain will do it for me. Plus it's beautiful and scenic. Love the terrain in here. It's a very nice day. It's great to be out. We had a legend on the channel that commented at last week's ride that the cars were passing us kind of fast. And yeah, that happens. There's a lot of wind. Just off this water. Unless you're just riding in your neighborhood, you're going to come across busier roads. The traffic's going to be faster, but to tell you the truth, you're safer than in a congested area where the cars are moving slower and you have more cars. That may seem counterintuitive, but you have fewer cars on these rural roads, but you got to use them to get to places like these. We go out on adventures. I'd be bored just riding in my neighborhood. So no, there's nothing wrong with the speed of the cars. Just make sure that the road has enough space. The guy doing his yard over there. Make sure the road has enough space for you to safely have your position on the road. As soon as you turn, the gradient kicks in right at the corner. Yeah, this thing, the climb bites right away. You can see it continues to rise. Just look at the gradient. So I'm standing right now. That's where the arrow was. But the thing is that you don't want to just ride on your neighborhood roads all the time. You got to get out there and explore. We pick roads that have good shoulders. So even if they're busy and they have a shoulder, then it's better. You're not competing with cars for space that much. But you got to use some busy roads to get places. It takes some getting used to if you're new at this. And it takes a while for people to get the comfort level with cars zooming by. So I can understand where that comment came from. You see this climb, it goes up to like 6%, but this thing only shows like 3. I basically kept my gears low and just rode it. It got up to around close to tempo. Since I'm nowhere near my best form, I have to work on all these little climbs. That's why I come out here. So I pick challenging terrain so I can get in shape in a shorter period of time. It's a nice shot of the Colnago in action. This decided to film one of the other climbs that I like in this neighborhood. It's really pretty, nice and gradual. I'm only seeing a handful of riders or even runners and walkers out. Everybody's really just hunkering down. So everything's different. It's very windy in this direction. I like coming here because it's always quiet. Doesn't matter which time of the day or day of the week you come. That's the hill I'm talking about. It swings. It's got a nice grade. I like hills like these because they're gradual. The steepness is not sudden. So you get some kind of a rhythm. If you look at the grade on the metric there, above the cyclist, you see it going up. And I keep my cadence in the 80s. That's my goal. So I don't worry about what gear I'm in, whatever, what speed I'm doing, none of that. I focus on the gearing that will keep me in the range I need to be. At its peak, it's probably about 4% maybe, at most. So it's these kind of climbs that really teach you how to ride climbs. It's the way I want to ride. Because you can get into some kind of a rhythm. I check for traffic. It's a four-way stop sign. It's clear. And I go ahead and try to finish this up. Right about here, it starts going downhill. Get a bit of a respite. This is the neighborhood we came to when we had a couple of visitors from California a while ago. It was on a wet ride we came through here, and the guy ended up falling on the corner that's coming up. Because he took it too fast. I'm particularly watching my gearing. Not sure you guys will be able to hear me anyway. I'm going to the teeth of the wind. Yeah, with the wind and the grade, you definitely have to watch your gearing. Wind is blowing from the south today. That's why we're nice and mild. So this is the corner here. It's kind of slick in the rain. The guy fell in this corner. But he was okay, he didn't get hurt. But it's an accelerating corner where you're going downhill and cornering and then decreasing radius. So it was a bit tricky. So after doing all the work on that slight grade back there, I go ahead and enjoy this little downhill. It says -0. And we're gonna turn right here. This is the initial route I was on when I entered. I check for traffic and turn because this road kicks up quickly. Look at the grade where the arrow is. It goes up to like 6%. I think I registered 4 on the graphics here.
It's close to 4%. It says 4.7.
Okay, 4.7. I hit 6% on my head unit. Gets there in a hurry, so if you ride it hard enough,
get a good workout.
You can get a workout, yeah. So I'm in a good size gear. I'm riding it hard.
Get out and do the work.
I'm gonna head northwest from here. Another nice little descent and a climb right after it. Pretty. Look at that. Beautiful. So by working hard when it counts, when you get with the group and they start working hard, that's the way you already been training. So it doesn't matter. You can go hard for 20 minutes. You don't worry about what the group's doing for a few moments. So that's what we have in our plans, you know, show you how to go hard for the proper durations and proper zones, proper efforts to get you ready for anything. Right cadences, you know. That's what I mean when I say we train, we don't ride. The wind was out here in most directions anyway. You can hear it.
This is a good way.
I'm on my way out of this subdivision.
This three-way stop sign.
So at this three-way stop sign, I'm gonna go left, which is west. And that will take me to the main highway, Fishcreek, which is 2978.
We're back on Fishcreek, aka 2978. For this road, this is very quiet, so yes, there is definitely an impact. Usually, cars are whizzing by, especially this time of the morning. There's that overpass. Nice little bump.
It was really great riding today to just see how empty the roads were. I missed my buddy being out here. We would have had a blast, but you know, I'm hoping he gets better soon. I got a shot of one of the few cars that went by. There's a few more that will come right when I hit those barrels, because the barrels are on the road and there's a lot of debris, so I'm using the lane because I don't want to ride in those little rocks there.
There's a lot of debris, so I'm using the lane. I just have to move over a little more.
And so they moved over more, and then right here it starts to clear up. Then I moved over closer to the white line. If you do have to ride in that debris, just make sure you stand. Take the weight off the bike. It reduces your chances of getting a puncture. I'm using a large gear and I got my cadence kind of low because I want my legs to work. That's a specific muscular endurance workout. I found out here that they have widened this road. We used to come down here while the construction was ongoing. There used to be barrels.
This road has been expanded to a boulevard. They were doing construction a few months ago. Nice and wide shoulder here. They haven't decided what to do with this piece, I'm sure.
They built a new shopping center on the left.
That's new. That strip center over there, the shopping center is new. This is very nice. Instead of just a two-way, we got 2 lanes and a turn lane.
There's a turn lane in the middle.
This used to be very narrow.
And 2 lanes on either side, in either direction.
It just blows my mind. There are no cars out here.
Yeah,
This is just fabulous.
The road used to be busy.
I could ride all day.
Even when it was narrow, it was
This road
busy.
was one of the busier roads out here, even though it was narrow. It's like a cyclist's dream.
I'm using the right lane. pretty much, because I'm going to be turning left soon.
So we usually would turn over here. It's called Capitol Road. There's nothing behind me.
I mean, the road's empty. Look back there. Usually you got cars
This is a
whizzing by.
busy area. This is not, we're not in the middle of nowhere here. This is like Conroe. This shit blows my mind.
This is Capitol Road here. We'll turn left. We'll take us west.
Capitol Road has a little rise. This is why I touched wheels with Tim.
Yeah, this is the same spot where I touched wheels with Tim on a group ride last summer.
I'm about 2 hours out from where I live on the bike. 2 hours out by bike.
So right over that hill
From
there.
the other direction, this is an intense climb the other way because the climb is really long.
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about. This is Capitol Hill. Coming the opposite way, it's a long climb. Right here, it's a descent. But coming the opposite way, we use that a lot to get a good workout. It's a long climb. It's at least
Great place to get a workout.
probably 3 kilometers maybe. I'm not pedaling at all. If you look at my RPM, it's 0 and just rolling at 40 kilometers an hour. It's very breezy, so you can hear it. I'm just staying low. You should be able to use all the positions on your bars, the drops, the tops, the hooks. If you can't, you gotta get your fit checked. Because it all begins with fit. Get the bike comfortable, you will ride longer. It's not close. This driver that's coming is a good ways, plus I'm not going that fast. I'm doing 18 kilometers an hour.
I found a climb out here. I'm going to show you guys, hopefully. It's in a high school yard. It's long and steep.
Yeah, I went through there a few days
If
ago.
they're not, I probably could sneak over the fence. But I want to show that to you all. You got to find things that will help you get a workout.
And give you variety. I come out here a lot, so I don't like to do the same roads all the time.
Find areas that will help you get in shape quickly. The climb I'm talking about is, I've only descended it, and it was intense, so I know it's going to be tough the other way. But it's in a high school parking lot, or the driveway leading to the parking lot.
Yeah, the climb I'm talking about, it feels harder than it looks.
It's about probably 10 kilometers from here. I'm on Mill Route, about midway through it. Decided to start filming here. Take you guys to this climb that I found. That I think hopefully I'll have access to it. But should be pretty interesting. I love this road. Look at the canopy of the trees.
I love
Doesn't
coming
matter
out
what
here in the
time of
summer.
year.
It's always cooler
Nice and
because of the shade from these trees.
calm
And the road surface is great and it's always quiet.
with all the trees over the road. I'm just riding these climbs easily. There's no point in trying to hammer them because my condition is not there yet anyway. But by riding, I'll ride myself into shape. I hear a car behind me. That's why I don't put anything in my ears. Sounds like he's slowing down. Not sure why. Come on. I think he's turning. Oh, he's entering the driveway. I was gonna wave him by. I don't like him hanging behind me too long. So when you ride your climbs in your area, resist the urge to go full gas all the time. If you're in the mood for that, by all means. But don't feel like you have to hammer the climbs every time. Otherwise, you will not really get into really learning how to ride them. Learn the nuances, and then when it's time to go hard, you'll be ready. So even if you come through here with a group, like if I were with a group and it started to sprint up these climbs, right now with the current condition I'm in, I would probably just try to stay with the main group. Keep my pace steady with them, not kill myself. To get in better shape that way, quicker, without the possibility of burnout.
But you have to be patient.
The climb I'm talking about is at a high school up here called Lake Creek High School.
And we're on 2854.
There it is. Hope the camera does it justice. And I plan on putting it in a very mild gear, just riding. I want to feel the sensation.
I edited for time here, just to kind of introduce you all to this little climb.
Not late. Right about here begins. It's -3 back there.
Like every time I try to climb on this ride, the wind picked up.
Oh, now it's starting to rain. See how high school.
So the grade starts around here somewhere.
7.7.
Right there. It's going
Steepest pitch is up
there. It got up to about 5 or 6%. I thought it was steeper, but I guess it felt steeper.
Just using a gear I can stay on top of. That's what matters. I'll enjoy the undulations. It starts to bite right here.
It really started kicking in around here. If you look at the grade over there, it's gonna probably go up to 4%, but it's more than that. It's closer to 6.
It increases. I thought it'd be steeper than this.
Yeah, I expected it to be steeper, but it
5%.
wasn't. But still, if you want to work hard on the bike, these are the kind of things you can do repeats on them if you got something like this in your area. It says 4% up there on that gradient, but I think it was closer to 6.
It's Saturday, nobody's here. All the schools are closed. Completely
This is a high school. Lake Creek High School.
I just wanted to ride that car. On Honea Egypt Road, heading home. One of my favorite roads in the area.
There's something about the character of this road. It's all about the business of riding. Every time I get on this road, I work hard. I don't care what's going on. I just enjoy this road. It has some character. The road with an attitude.
The teeth of the wind.
There's something about this road that gives me a slice of adrenaline every time I get on it. All the little creases and cracks and crevices. You gotta navigate them. I'm staying a little to the left of the white line. If you can see it, there's a faint outline of it. Which is pretty close to where the right tire of cars ride, but I don't want to be in that exact spot because there's a lot more cracks there. So I'm basically looking for the smoothest pavement next to the white line. That's what I'm using. The camera's in my left hand. And that position on this road forces everybody to pass you by. You see where I am. there's certain stretches where I have to move left, and you'll see that coming around, I think after that curve. The black truck on the right, he's waiting to enter traffic, but he saw me. We made eye contact, so I kept rolling. I make sure they see me. And right here, I knew this guy was passing. Once he moved, I just moved over to avoid that dip right there. That's from the heavy trucks that have passed on this road. This road gets covered with water when it rains, and so it gets saturated, and the soil moves in certain areas. That's why you see those little dips. That's the guy who was at the corner earlier. I'm pretty much in the spot where the right tire ride. That's where you want to be, especially if you're solo. It forces the drivers to move over as they come by. So after that curve where the truck is going through, you'll see the bump that we have to deal with every time we come in this direction on this road. I like it because it kicks in and then it continues. So you really have to save something. You can't go all out early because you still got to ride.
You need to feel a bit of drizzle. Rain's coming.
Yeah, the rain starts coming down around here. Big droplets are coming, and in about probably 4 or 5 kilometers, it really opens up.
So I plan on riding that climb out of the saddle.
So I ride the bump out of the saddle, and as soon as I get over the bump, you'll see me sit and then flip the camera around.
I'm gonna have to stop and put on my rain vest, but I really don't want to do it before the climb, but the rain's coming right here. It's coming down hard.
Yeah, we're getting some droplets. I really didn't want to stop around here. There's not a great place to stop. I guess I could have gone in that driveway, but I didn't want to do that. All that gravel, I didn't want to deal with that. So I just kept riding. Plus, I didn't want to have to put the camera off, because the gimbal is what I'm trying to protect with the rain vest. I had removed my rain vest because it's such a warm day. It says 21C, but it feels a little warmer now. I'm standing here. You see my cadence in the 60s. I'm carrying the heavier gear than I normally would, and just using that to get over the climb.
I just stay in the same gear and ride it through.
I didn't downshift after sitting. I just kept riding the same gear. It's probably 39-16 or something like that.
RPMs doesn't matter because I'm trying to do some muscular endurance work.
You can never really replicate the effort you would have in a competition in training. You can try to get as close as possible, but you don't need to actually replicate that, because in competition or in a group, adrenaline kicks in and you do more. It's different. So all you have to do is do the preparation.
I'm making sure I regulate my breathing.
For muscle memory. That's the key. So, for example, if you've never hit 800 watts or 1200 watts and you need to do it in a ride, you're not going to be able to just do it out of the blue. So you've got to try to, I use that as an example just to say you got to try to at least periodically hit the effort that you think you'll hit in competition or with your mates. So it's not a surprise to your body.
Here comes the rain. As forecasted for once.
The rain's really coming down here, and there's a little turn we've used in the past. I decided to use that because it's really pouring.
Pull over in here so I can stop and put on my rain vest because I stuck it under my bib.
So I put my rain vest in the small of my back, between my bib and my body.
Cleaners. They're working. Don't worry,
The
boys. I'm not
cleaners.
disturbing you guys.
The vultures. It's a dead animal there to clean it up.
Little side street here. To get my rain vest off because I don't want the camera to get too wet. The camera itself is water resistant up to 30 meters or whatever, but the gimbal is not. So I'm going to put on my rain vest, protect it. Chance favors the prepared mind. As I put these things on the bike, I don't have to stop what I'm doing. I can continue. Let me try to make this light.
This is on Branch Crossing, back in the woodlands.
Kick it up. Shift. Kick it again. Get up to speed. Well, it's really raining.
The guy's blowing at the car in front of him. The light had changed for them. He's still sitting. You can see it's wet, but you can't let that stop you. You gotta be prepared, because chance favors the prepared mind.
My hand in it. I don't know if you can see it there. You can't let the rain stop you. You got an appointment to keep, you keep it.
I put the rain vest on so that should the rain have increased for a long period of time, I would have a place
Took my
to.
glasses off because no windshield wipers.
I would have a place to store the gimbal in my pocket in the jersey and have the jacket cover that to protect. But overall, there were just periodic showers, nothing major. All in all, turned out to be a very, very nice ride. I hope you all got a chance to get out there because it was fun just being able to get out. You clear the mind, get the body some work. Never let the rain stop you. You got to get out there, get your K's in. You have an appointment with your bike, you keep it. Get the proper equipment. You can ride in any kind of weather within reason. I want to thank all our sponsors and our supporters. I want to thank our patrons on patreon.com. Thanks for supporting the channel. Become a member. Support the channel.
So I hope you all got a chance to get some K's in. If you didn't, get on that trainer.